Good morning. Today we will discuss about the control statements. And the control statements, whenever I talking about the control statements, in any programming language, there are different control statements are there. But today I want to talk about the control statements especially in the C language. So whenever you talk about the control statement, you must need to understand which are the categories of the control statement. So I'm writing here that is a program control statements. So program control statements is divided into two portions. One portion is known as a selection, you can say, and you can say this is the selection or branching. So we can achieve this particular concept, that is a selection, using two different approach. The one approach is known as a conditional type. So we can write the condition and we can get the result. Another approach is known as a unconditional type. So this is what that sometimes without condition we can use the different selection of the program. So definitely we will talk about the conditional statement. Which are the conditional type available? So one type is known as a if. It means that if the condition is true, then what you want to do. There is one more category available over here, and that is if else. Suppose if option is not, it means that if the condition is true, then this if will execute. But I want to do the both part, that is if condition is true, then what you want to do, else what you want to do. Else means the if the condition is not true, then what you want to do, it means it is a if else. Sometimes I have the multiple conditions, then you can use the if else if, right? So one third category of the conditional statement is if else if. One more conditional statement is there. Whenever you are talking about a if, definitely you can talk about the range condition and the equality condition in if. But sometimes if you have a more equality condition and more than one equality condition you want to check, then you can use the switch statement. Unconditional statements are also there. There are three unconditional statements. One is break. Break is used to break particular control statement. For example, if you want to break a loop, then you can use the break. Suppose if you want to continue your loop, then you can use a continue statement. It is also a selection or branching statement, but you can say it is an unconditional because we don't need to write any condition. We can simply write a continue. Generally people are using if condition is true, then break. If condition is true, then continue, right? But this portion is known as a unconditional type. There is one more facility available in C language, and that is a goto, right? But sometimes we don't need a goto because we can use the loops in for any programming language very easily. So another category of the program control statement is there, and that particular category is known as a iteration or looping. So we can say that iteration or looping is the another category. In iteration or loop, there are three types of loop available in the programming language. Suppose if you are talking about a Java, suppose if you are talking about a PHP, suppose if you are talking about a C language, in all these languages, there are three types of loops are there, and that loop is known as a for, while, and do while. So this is what the control statement is. Suppose if you are looking for a condition, then you can use if. If condition is true, then if will run. If condition is false, then else will run. If condition is true, if one condition is true, then you can write if. If one condition is not true, then you can write another else if for the another condition. So you can write if else if later also. Switch is used for the equality checking of the condition. Break is used to break the particular loop. Continue is used to continue particular loop. Go to statement is used to move your cursor to any particular statement. For is used whenever your iteration is fixed. While is used whenever the iteration is not fixed but the termination condition is known. And do while is used when the termination condition is known but if you want to execute at least once. Let me give you one simple example for all these things. I will explain each and every control statements with example. Right now I am just starting with the if first. What is if? Here you can write the condition. If is used to check for the condition. For example, suppose if you think that, sir, I want to check that if the user age is greater than 18, then I want that the he or she is eligible for the voting. So how we can do this? Very simple it is. Here you can, in C language, you can declare the variable, for example, integer age. Now I want to ask the user to enter the age. So what is the age of the person that I want to get from the user? So I am getting using ampersand age. So user will input the value in age variable. Now here you can simply write the condition if age greater than 18, then or you can say greater than or equal 18. So this particular thing is known as a relational operator, right? That we already discussed that the relational operator will do what? It returns the value that is a 1 or 0. If the age is greater than 18, then your if portion will be executed. Then you can simply print out the message to the person that you are eligible for voting. But this is a simple if. One more thing that you need to take care is what? If you have only one statement, then no need to write the curly braces. But if you have more than one statement, for example, I'm writing here printf again, and that is a testing, right? So this statement will not be considered under this condition. So if condition is true or false, this testing message will always print. Why? Because by default only one statement is available inside the if condition. Suppose if you run this particular program, then it will asking me enter the age, and what is the age of the person. For example, I am writing here the age of the person is 21. I will get the message you are eligible for voting. As soon as I am getting the message testing. But if you run this program again, then you will be able to check that suppose if my age is 16, then testing is again coming. It means that this condition is checking only one statement by default if you are not writing any curly braces. So if you want that, you want to cover this testing, then you can write curly braces over here. Now your testing message will be displayed if and only if the user's age is greater than or equal 18. So I'm writing 19. Then it will give me a message you are eligible for voting, and testing is coming again. But if I'm writing again and if I'm passing here that 16, then no message is coming. So what I want to discuss that by default in any condition you can write the one statement. The first statement will be considered. If you want to write more than one statement over here, then you can use the curly braces. Now, this is the very simple program. It gives me a message that you are eligible for voting. But what if I am not more than 18? It means if I am 15, then it is not giving me any message. So this is a simple if condition. It will run if and only if the condition is true. Right? If I am passing here value and the value is greater than 18, for example 19, then it gives me a message you are eligible for voting. But remember, there is one more statement is available and it is known as a if else. What is if else? Here you can write else. Else means what? If this particular condition is not true, then what you want to do, right? So first it will check for the condition. If the condition is true, then this portion will be executed. If the condition is not true, then you can pass the message over here that we regret to inform you, we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for voting. Now you can run the program again. We need to pass a semicolon after completion of each line. Now I'm passing the age over here. Suppose I'm passing 15. I will get the message that we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for voting. Now I'm executing the same program again. 21. You are eligible for voting. But students, sometimes what happens, we want the message that we regret to inform you that you are not eligible, but you can do the voting after this many years. So I want to print the message that you will be eligible after this much of years. So I want to give the message that your eligibility will be your eligibility for voting will be after percentage D years. Now, how can I check that the percentage D years? You can write /n to break the line. Now, after how many years? So here you need to check that if user has entered the value that is, for example, 15 years. So I need to print the value that is whatever the user has entered minus. Suppose user has entered the value that is 17. So 17 minus 18. Is it perfect? No. You can write 18 minus age. So this is the value that is required. Now you can run your program again. Now you can check. Suppose enter the age. Suppose the age is, for example, 32. Then it's fine. You are eligible for voting. No problem at all. But if I am entering the age that is 12, then it says that we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for the voting and your eligibility for voting will be after 6 years. So his age is 12 years. After 6 years, he or she will be able to vote. So very simple if else is there. You can write the condition and based on the condition you can get the data. But sometimes what happen, I want to check that I have, for example, three numbers, and based on the three numbers I want to check that which number is maximum. So I want to find max dot c. This is the program, right? So I want to get the three numbers from the user, but without if else if I want to write this particular program. So how we can do this? Simple again. You can get the number 1, number 2 and number 3 from the user. I can get pass the message to the user that enter any three numbers. Now you can get the three numbers at the same time by passing percentage D three times. So you can write ampersand number 1, ampersand number 2 and ampersand number 3. So three number will be passed by the users at the same time. Now I want to find it out the max among these three numbers. So right now I'm writing that the max is equal to 0. It means my maximum number will be 0. Now I'm assigning that the maximum is equal to number 1. So by default I says that the number 1 is maximum. Now you can check for the condition. If number 2 is greater than the max, then definitely max will be number 2. If, now you can write if again, if number 3 is greater than the max, then max will be number 3. So if your first number is maximum, then it will print that it is maximum. If first number is not maximum, it means that if the number 2 is greater than your max, then your number 2 is maximum, then definitely we need to announce that the maximum is now number 2. Now, if number 3 is greater than max, then maximum is equal to number 3. You can do the same program very easily by writing a simple if statement, and you can print the message that maximum is equal to percentage D. Which is the max? Max is the variable that you can print over here. So I want to check that the which number is maximum. For example, I am passing 32, 34 and 54. Then it says that the maximum is equal to 54. Now I want to check that I want to pass the second number maximum. That is, of second number is 18. 12, 18 and 14. The maximum is equal to 18. Now I want to pass the first number maximum. That is 21. 19 and for example 15. Then you people will be able to check that the which number is maximum. 21 is maximum. So I did nothing. I written the same program very easily that the which number is maximum from three numbers. I just assigned the first number as the maximum number, and then based on this you can check if your another number is greater than the maximum, then that particular number is maximum. If that particular number is not, then you can simply write this. So you can do the same task very easily just by writing a simple if statement, even if else is not required, right? But if you want to write else, then you can simply ignore this first statement, right? So if number 2 is greater than max, max is equal to 0. So if number 2 is greater than 0, if yes, then the number 2 is maximum. If number 3 is greater than maximum, then maximum is number 3. And you can start from the first number, right? So even you can check for the another condition that if number 1 is greater than max, then max is equal to number 1. But no need to do this. Why? Because directly you can announce the first number as the maximum, and then you can check the numbers, right? So multiple condition, if it is not required, then don't write the same. Now, suppose if you think that, sir, I want to check the different things. For example, I want to check that I just provided the two numbers. Is the both number are equal or not? That I want to check. Right. So very simple program you can achieve you by using the condition. For example, find equality between the two numbers. So how we can check the equality of the two numbers? You can just ask the user that enter any two numbers. So I'm just passing two numbers. Now I want to check the equality. Whenever you want to check the equality, simple if else you can write. If number 1 equal number 2, then you can say that both the numbers are equal. It means double equal operator is used to check the equality between the two values. That is two operand. But if both are not equal, then you can simply print the message that both are unequal. So I'm just printing the message that is unequal. You can simply run the program and you can check it is working properly or not. For example, I'm passing the two number that is 10 and 20. It gives me a message that is unequal. It means the both number are not equal. Suppose if I'm passing 20 and 25, again not equal. But if I'm passing 20 and 20, I will get the message both the numbers are equal. So you can check the equality condition by passing if simple if else. So this is a very simple if else condition. I want to give you one more example of the if else based on the reality example. Let me show you the same. For example, I want to find what? I want to calculate the earning of the worker. So I'm giving the name of the program is calculate earnings. So what I want to do, let me mention over here on the paper first. I want to calculate the earnings of workers based on the weekly work hours the person did. So what I want to do, work hour based on the weekly working hours. I want to check that user, suppose user is working for hours that is more than 40. If user is working for the hours more than 40, I want to give him, that is a hourly rate multiplied by 1.5. Hourly rate, for example, hourly rate is 20, then I want to give the 20 into 1.5, right? Because the working hour is more than 40. And if the working hour is less than 40, then I want to give the as same as, that is the hourly rate multiplied by weekly hours. So how we can do this? Very simple. You can achieve this particular thing using the simple if statement. If, you can write here if, then condition you can write in a bracket. You can write that if weekly hours by the user is less than or equal to 40. It means if user did the weekly hours work that is a less than or equal to 40, then I want to give the earning is equal to whatever the hourly rate. For example, hourly rate is $15, then hourly rate multiplied by number of hours that person did the work. So the earning will be what? Earning is equal to hourly rate multiplied by weekly hours. Now I want to check that if user has not worked the less than 40, it means user has worked for the more than 40. So I want to give the hourly rate multiplied by weekly hour for first 40 hours only. After the 40 hours, I want to give him 1.5 multiplied by hourly rate. So you first need to identify for first 40 hours how much rate you want to give to him. So you can write here earning is equal to 40 into hourly rate. Right. So your first 40 hours will be hourly rate multiplied by 40 plus what we can do over here, that is weekly hours. Suppose if I work for 50 hours, then weekly hours minus 40. So 50 minus 40, it will be 10. So for this 10 hours, I need hourly rate multiplied by 1.5. It means if the user is working for 50 hours, suppose let me give you a simple example that the hourly rate is for example 15, right? Now if I am working for 40 hours, then I will get 40 into 50, 40 into 50, that I will get 600. That's it. But if hourly rate is 15 is the same, but I work not for 40, I work for 50 hours. Then what will be my earning? If I work for 50 hours, then 40 into 15, definitely I will get the 600. But for the remaining 10 hours, I need 15 into 1.5. So if you write here 10 into 15 into 1.5, so the value will be that 10 into 15 into 1.5. So I will get 225 more for this 10 hours. So 225 plus 5, 2 and 8. So if I work for 40 hours, then I will get 600. If I work for 50 hours, then I will get the 825. That is what I want to do. So suppose if I want to do the same kind of program in C language, how we can do? Simple. You just need to declare the variables, that is a weekly hours. So what is the weekly hours value, that how many hours the person has worked, that you can get from the user. Hourly rate. What is the hourly rate, right? You can declare it, you can initialize value over here, or you can get the value from the user. Right now I'm just giving the hourly rate is 50, right? Even we will get the value from the user. Now I'm declaring a variable, that is earning is equal to 0. Now I will ask to the user that enter how many works, how many hours worker worked. So worker works how many hours per week. So I will get the value from the user, and that will be weekly hours. So if I am entering the weekly hours is, for example, 40. So I need to write the condition. If weekly hours is less than or equal 40, then we will give him what is the earning of the person. Simple. Hourly rate multiply by weekly hours. So number of hours, that is for example 15, 40 hours, and the rate is 15. So I will get the earning, that will be 600. But if my weekly hours is not less than or equal to 40, then what we will do? So simple, again you can write here earnings is equal to hourly rate multiply by 40 plus, now you can write here weekly hours minus 40. So suppose my weekly hours is 50, then what will be my charge? That is 40 into hourly rate plus weekly hours minus 40. So my hours is 50. So 50 into 50 minus 40, it will be 10, multiply by hourly rate multiply by 1.5. Right? So this will be my earning. If it is a one statement, then no need to write the curly braces. I already mentioned. Now you can write here that the total earning of the worker is equal to percentage D, and you can simply print your variable earning. Now I'm just simply executing the application. Here it will asking me how many work hours the worker worked. Suppose if I am entering 40 hours, I will get the message that the total earning is 600. It is correct. We did it on the paper. We calculated the same. Suppose if I am writing here 50 hours, then I will get the 825. Yes, it is also correct. But not only hourly work, I need a hourly rate from the user also. So here you can get enter enter the rate per hour. So what is the rate per hour that you can get from the user? M% hourly rate. So now no need to initialize the value. You can get it from the user. So now user will ask me two things. How many hours worker worked? For example, 41. Then what is the rate? For example, 15. Now what should be my output? 40 into 50, it will be 600. And then I need a 1.5 into 15. So it will be 622. Right? You can even calculate the same, that the first 40 hours it is 15, and that is a 600, and 1.5 into 15. So you will get 22. 15 into 1.5, you will get 22.5. But as it is the variable, it is declared as an integer, so it is rounding. So even you can declare the variable as a floating if it is required. So here the concept is what? Simple. I want to calculate the same thing. So it is a simple if else condition. But not only this. Sometimes what happen? I want to check that the if condition, and I want to use the multiple condition. For example, here I use again a relational operator, but I want to use the relational operator with the multiple condition, and I want to check that if the city is Rajkot, if the age is 35 or less, it means I want to check the condition that if the age of the person is less than 35, if the city is Rajkot, if that particular person did the graduation, then I just want to interview him. It means I want to hire him. If that person is age is less than 35, if he is from Rajkot and he is graduate, right? So three things I want to check, and I want to hire the employee based on the condition. So I'm just giving the program name, that is hire employee dot c. Now what you want to do? Simple. I want to hire the employee based on the three condition. Which three condition? Age must be less than or equal. Age must be less than or equal 35. One more condition that I want to check, that is he must be he or she, right? So I'm not talking about the gender specific. If you are talking about the gender specific, then you want to write the one more condition for the same. He or she must be from Rajkot, and I want to check one more condition over here, and that is what? Age, city, and the he must date at least graduation, right? So based on this three condition, I want to check the person that I want to interview him or not, right? So here you can take the three variables: age, then you can take for the city, you can take the string variable, and whenever you are talking about the string variable, you can take the character and array, right? So I'm just writing here character, city, array. So it will be your string variable. Now I want to check that he must need at least a graduation. So is the graduation is did or not? So for that particular thing, you can manage here, that is graduation is equal to 0. So this is your variable. This three variable you can decide. Once you decide this three variable, now you can ask to the user printf enter age. So we will asking for the age to the user, that enter the age of the person. Then I want to check that enter the city. Whenever you want to and get the city from the user, as it is a string, so you can write here percentage s. No, whenever you are writing a percentage s, it is a string, and string is by default a pointer. So don't provide the ampersand over here, and simply write enter city. Not only age and city, I want to get the are you graduate, yes or not, right? So are you graduate? And if you are writing the question that are you a graduate, if you want the output that is yes or no, then you can simply declare the variable that is character graduation is equal to single quote, and then you can pass the value that is no, I'm not graduate. By default you can assign the value if it is required, or if you don't want to initialize, then you can simply ignore. Whenever you are writing a character, you can write here percentage c. Now here you can use the ampersand graduation. Now I want to check the three things. Which three things? If the age is less than or equal to 35 and city is Rajkot and he is a graduate, then and then I want to interview him. Otherwise, I don't want to call him for the interview. So if you want to write the conditions like this, then you can simply write here the condition if age less than or equal to 35. Now whenever you want to use the logical operator, you can use the double ampersand. Double ampersand will do what? If all the conditions are true, then and then it will run properly. So if age is equal to 35, less than or equal to 35, and I'm looking for the CT. So I'm just checking the CT is equal to, that is a Rajkot, and I'm looking for the graduation degree, and the graduation is, now here you can just get the value from him that are you a graduate, yes or no. So I'm simply getting the value y. If yes, so here even you can ask to the user that are you a graduate. If yes, then press y, else press no. So you can give the hint to the user. If the age is less than 35, CT is Rajkot, and graduation is equal to yes, then I want to call him for the interview. So I'm just printing the message that you are selected for interview. If this condition is not true, then in else case you can write, we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for the said post. So this is a simple if else condition. Dear students, sometimes what happens if you want to give a relaxation to the user, that if the user is from Rajkot, then check then age, if not less than 35, then also it's okay if he is from Rajkot. So if you want to give some relaxation in that particular case, you can use the or operator. But right now I'm not interested, not at all interested to provide any relaxation. Here you can define character CT array, and then you can define the size. In the C language, then you need to define the size, that how many characters you want to get. So I'm just simply writing that is I want the 30 length. Whenever you are using pointer, you need to assign the memory. So right now I'm just setting the value that is 30 character maximum. Are you graduate? Yes, I am graduate. What is your age? For example, 36. Which is your city? For example, Rajkot. Then it gives me a message that we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for the said post. Yes, it is correct. Why? Because I am graduate, I am from Rajkot, but I am not less than 35. This is the problem, right? So here now you can check your program again. Are you a graduate? Yes. What is your age? For example, 21. What is your city? Rajkot. Then I will get the message that we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for the said post. Why? This is a string, and whenever you are writing a string for the equality checking, whenever you want to compare the two different string, directly you cannot do in the C language, and for that particular thing you can include the string dot h. Whenever you include the string dot h, then you can use the function over here for the comparison of the string. So what I want to compare? I want to compare that if strcmp, this is the function, right? So here you can compare the two different string. That is a CT that is input by the user and Rajkot. If both are same, then what you want to do, right? So if both are same, then this will return you 0. If this will return you 0 if and only if these two strings are same. It means CT that is given by the user and the Rajkot, if both are same, then I want to go ahead. Then I want to give a message that is you are selected for a interview. Now you can say that are you a graduate? Yes. Now what is your age? For example, 21. Now what is your city? For example, Rajkot. You will get the message. You are selected for interview. Dear students, whenever you want to compare the string with the another string, you can either use the strcmp function or using loop you can do this. But still, I had not explained the loop, and that is the reason why I'm using the function string comparison. Here in string comparison, you can pass the two different string. If both are equal, then this function is returning 0. So here you can write check that if both are equal, then 0. Now, this is very simple program, but I want that are you graduate that particular thing, that is a percentage C. I want this particular statement at the last over here. But what happened? Suppose if you are running this particular program, let me run the old program again so I can give you a hint that suppose if I am a graduate, if my age is not eligible, even if my city is same, then it will give me a message, we regret to inform you, right? Now I want to check what? I want to get the age, city, and then are you a graduate? That message I want. So suppose if I am writing the age is 31, so I am eligible. City, for example, Rajkot. But what happens whenever I press enter? It will automatically take the value, are you graduate? And it will take the value no, and the message will come that is very great to inform you that. Why? Because if I press enter, then slash n will be passed over here, right? So I want that this lesson must not be passed to this. So whatever you have input in your city Raj code, I want to flush first. So my suggestion is whenever you are using percentage C, before this, use the flush, and then you can pass simple standard input you can flush. So once you flush this, then you can run this program again. What I did, I flushed the data that is available as a variable. So 31 again, city Rajkot again. Now it is asking me, see, are you a graduate? Yes, I am a graduate. Then you are selected for the interview. Suppose if I am writing again this particular program and it asking me that enter the age, for example, age is proper, city is also proper, but I am not graduate, then we regret to inform you that you are not eligible for the said post. So what we learn? F plus is used to flush the data that is available as a input for the another input. For example, if you are writing here enter city, suppose if you are entering the city and you are pressing the enter, that slash n is passing to this particular statement. So your slash n is passed to this particular value, and that is the reason why it is not taking the value. So you can flush your data, right? And here you can write the condition. Suppose if I want to make the slight changes, that is what the graduation is compulsory. If your age is less than 35, okay. If age is not less than 35, then either of this, it means either I am from Rajkot or my age is less than 35, then it's okay if I'm a graduate. Then it's okay if I'm a graduate. Now I'm writing the condition like this. Now you can check. See, I'm passing the age. Now my age is, for example, 31. Now the city is, for example, Surat. So my city is not Rajkot. My age is eligible and I am graduate. It asking me that you are selected for the interview. You can check again. Now you can make changes into your age. For example, 36. Age is not compatible, but my city is Rajkot. Are you graduate? Yes. Then also I am selected for the interview. Suppose if I am running again and if my age is not suitable, even my city is not suitable, now I am graduate, then also it will give me a message that we regret to inform you. So what I did, either of this condition is true. If this condition either is true and if I am a graduation, then it is okay. But either of this true must be true. It means if my age is not less than 35 And if I'm not belong to Rajkot, then even if I am a graduate, I'm not able to eligible, right? So this is what you can do. In short, in if condition, you can use the logical operator like or and you can use the relational operator over here. One more thing that I want to conclude, that here you can get the simple character and even you can get the string. If you want to get the string, you can use the percentage S. If you want to get the character, you can use the percentage C. And if you are matching the character, you can use the single character. If you are matching the string, you can use the double quote. And if you are using the integer, then you can directly pass over here. So that's it from my side.